Are you tired of feeling trapped in a life that doesn't truly belong to you? Look around. Is this the reality you dreamed of creating for yourself? This question strikes at the core of our shared human experience, the yearning for authentic self-expression and genuine independence. We ask this because so many of us find ourselves living lives dictated by others' expectations, societal pressures, or our own limiting beliefs. It's time to reclaim your life, and that journey begins right now. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, unexplored wilderness. The path behind you is familiar, worn smooth by years of following others' footsteps. But ahead lies the promise of discovery, of carving your own trail through life. This is where we find ourselves today, at the threshold of your newfound independence. The journey to reclaim your life starts with a simple yet profound realization. You are the author of your own story. For too long, many of us have allowed others to write our narratives, to dictate the plot twists and character arcs of our existence. We've become supporting characters in our own lives, reacting to circumstances instead of creating them. But today, right now, you're taking back the pen. You're asserting your right to be the protagonist of your own tale. This isn't about selfishness or disregard for others. It's about honoring the unique spark of potential that resides within you. It's about recognizing that by living authentically, you contribute something irreplaceable to the world. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth. They knew that true freedom comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering our internal responses. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This power, the ability to shape our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, is the cornerstone of personal independence. It's a muscle that grows stronger with use, a skill that can be honed and refined. And as we develop this inner strength, we find ourselves less swayed by the opinions of others, less buffeted by the winds of fortune. But let's be clear, this journey isn't easy. The path to independence is often steep and challenging. It requires courage to question long-held beliefs, to challenge the status quo, to stand firm in the face of opposition. There will be moments of doubt, times when the comfort of conformity beckons seductively. Yet it's precisely these challenges that forge our character, that transform us into the independent, self-assured individuals we aspire to be. Each obstacle overcome is a testament to your growing strength. Each fear faced head-on becomes a stepping stone to greater confidence. As we progress on this path, you'll find that independence isn't just about breaking free from external constraints. It's equally about liberation from internal limitations. The self-doubt, the negative self-talk, the habits that no longer serve you. True independence is a state of mind, a way of being in the world that radiates from the inside out. Think back to a moment when you felt truly alive, when every fiber of your being resonated with purpose and authenticity. Perhaps it was a time when you stood up for your beliefs, pursued a passion despite the odds, or made a decision that others questioned but you knew was right for you. That feeling, that sense of alignment with your deepest self, is what we're striving to make your everyday reality. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This profound insight is at the heart of our journey towards independence. We often squander our energy fretting over circumstances we can't change, allowing external factors to dictate our happiness and sense of self-worth. But what if we redirected that energy? What if we focused intently on the things we can control? Our thoughts, our actions, our responses to life's challenges. This shift in perspective is transformative. It moves us from a place of victimhood to one of empowerment, from reactivity to proactivity. Consider the areas of your life where you feel stuck or constrained. Is it in your career, where you're following a path laid out by others rather than pursuing your true calling? Is it in your relationships, where you've compromised your authentic self to meet others' expectations. Or perhaps it's in your daily habits, where comfort and routine have overshadowed growth and vitality. Identifying these areas is the first step towards reclaiming your independence. It requires brutal honesty with yourself, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But remember, this discomfort is the birthplace of growth. It's the chrysalis from which your independent self will emerge. As we delve deeper into this journey, we'll explore practical strategies for breaking free from these constraints. We'll learn to set boundaries that honor our values, to make decisions aligned with our long-term vision rather than short-term comfort. We'll cultivate the courage to say no to things that don't serve us, and an emphatic yes to opportunities for growth and self-expression. But independence isn't about isolation. It's not about cutting ourselves off from others or rejecting all forms of support. Rather, it's about engaging with the world on our own terms, from a place of inner strength and clarity. It's about forming relationships and connections that enhance our lives rather than define them. Think of independence as a tree. Its roots run deep, anchoring it firmly in the soil of self-knowledge and personal values. Its trunk stands strong, representing the core of who you are, and its branches reach outward, interacting with the world around it, flexible yet unbroken by the winds of change. This image of the tree embodies the balance we're striving for, grounded in our own truth, yet open to growth and connection. It's a powerful metaphor for the kind of independence that enriches not just our own lives, but the lives of those around us. As we continue on this path, you'll likely encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from others. Change can be unsettling, and those accustomed to the old you may struggle to adapt. But remember, your journey towards independence is not a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of your authentic self. Your growth may inspire others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery. By living authentically, you give others permission to do the same. This ripple effect is one of the most beautiful aspects of personal growth. As we liberate ourselves, we contribute to the liberation of those around us. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is often the biggest obstacle on the path to independence. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears can paralyze us, keeping us tethered to the familiar even when it no longer serves us. But here's a powerful truth. Fear is often a compass pointing towards our greatest opportunities for growth. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How many times have you held back from pursuing your dreams because of imagined worst-case scenarios? How often have these fears actually materialized? More often than not, we find that our fears were overblown, that we were capable of far more than we gave ourselves credit for. This is where courage comes in. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act in spite of it. It's about acknowledging your fear, understanding its source, and then making a conscious choice to move forward anyway. Each time you do this, you grow stronger. You prove to yourself that you're capable of facing challenges and emerging victorious. Independence requires this kind of courage. It demands that we step out of our comfort zones, that we challenge the status quo, that we dare to be different. But with each courageous act, we reclaim a piece of ourselves. We assert our right to live life on our own terms. Think about the areas in your life where fear has held you back. Maybe it's fear of speaking your truth, fear of pursuing a passion, or fear of letting go of a situation that no longer serves you. Now, imagine what your life could look like if you faced these fears head-on. Visualize the sense of freedom, the surge of confidence, the joy of living authentically. This vision isn't just a fantasy. It's a possibility waiting to be realized, and the tools to make it happen are within your grasp. Throughout this journey, we'll explore techniques to manage fear, to build resilience, and to cultivate the courage needed to live independently. One powerful technique is the practice of negative visualization, a Stoic exercise that involves imagining worst-case scenarios. This might sound counterintuitive, but by facing our fears in our minds, we often find that even the worst outcomes are manageable. This practice builds our confidence and helps us put our fears into perspective. Another crucial aspect of gaining independence is developing a strong sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. So many of us tie our self-esteem to others' opinions, to our achievements, or to material possessions. But true independence comes from recognizing your intrinsic value as a human being, regardless of external circumstances. This shift in perspective is liberating. When you no longer need others' approval to feel worthy, you're free to make choices that align with your authentic self. You're able to set boundaries, to say no to things that don't serve you, and to pursue your passions without fear of judgment. As we continue on this journey of reclaiming your independence, let's delve into the power of mindfulness. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and distractions. We often find ourselves living on autopilot, reacting to life rather than consciously creating it. But true independence requires presence, a deep awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing our attention to the present moment, without judgment. It's about observing our inner world with curiosity and compassion. This practice is a powerful tool for breaking free from the mental patterns that keep us stuck in dependency. When we're mindful, we create a space between stimulus and response. Instead of automatically reacting based on old habits or fears, we can pause, reflect, and choose our response. This is where our true power lies, in that moment of choice. It's where we assert our independence from conditioned responses and align our actions with our authentic selves. Imagine navigating your day with this level of awareness. You notice when you're about to agree to something out of a sense of obligation rather than genuine desire. You catch yourself before falling into a spiral of negative self-talk. You recognize the subtle ways you might be compromising your values to fit in. With mindfulness, you have the power to redirect these patterns. But mindfulness isn't just about changing our internal landscape. It also transforms how we engage with the world around us. When we're fully present, we're able to truly listen to others without getting caught up in our own mental chatter. We can appreciate the beauty in simple moments. We can respond to challenges with clarity and purpose rather than knee-jerk reactions. This heightened awareness is crucial for maintaining our independence in a world that's constantly vying for our attention and trying to influence our choices. It allows us to discern between the voices of society, our conditioned responses, and our true inner wisdom. Let's practice a brief mindfulness exercise right now. Take a deep breath and bring your attention to this present moment. Notice the sensation of your breath, the feeling of your body, the thoughts passing through your mind. Don't try to change anything. Just observe. This simple act of awareness is a powerful assertion of your independence. You're choosing where to direct your attention, rather than letting it be pulled in 1,000 different directions. As you cultivate this mindfulness in your daily life, you'll find yourself becoming more attuned to your authentic desires and values. You'll start to notice the subtle ways you might be living according to others' expectations rather than your own truth. This awareness is the first step towards change. Remember, gaining independence isn't about making drastic changes overnight. It's about small, consistent choices that align with your true self. Each mindful moment, each conscious decision, is a step towards reclaiming your life. Let's talk about the role of responsibility in independence. True independence isn't about doing whatever we want without regard for consequences. It's about taking full ownership of our lives, our choices, our actions, and their outcomes. This level of responsibility can feel daunting at first, but it's incredibly empowering. When we fully embrace responsibility, We stop blaming others or circumstances for our situation. We recognize that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we always have control over our response. This shift in perspective is liberating. It moves us from a position of victimhood to one of empowerment. Think about an area of your life where you've been feeling stuck or frustrated. Now, consider how your perspective might shift if you took full responsibility for that situation. This doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means acknowledging your power to influence the outcome. What actions could you take right now to move towards a more desirable situation? This level of responsibility requires courage. It means facing our fears, confronting our shortcomings, and being willing to fail. But it also opens up a world of possibilities. When we take responsibility, we reclaim our power to shape our lives. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This quote beautifully encapsulates another crucial aspect of independence: gratitude. Cultivating gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from what we can't control to what we can appreciate. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to the feelings of dissatisfaction and scarcity that often drive us to seek validation or fulfillment from external sources. When we're truly grateful for what we have, we're less likely to compromise our values or independence for the promise of more. Take a moment right now to reflect on 3 things in your life that you're genuinely grateful for. They could be relationships, experiences, personal qualities, or simple pleasures. As you focus on these blessings, notice how it shifts your emotional state. This is the power of gratitude. It grounds us in the present and reminds us of our inherent abundance. Incorporating gratitude into your daily life is a simple yet profound way to nurture your independence. It reduces our dependence on external circumstances for our happiness and helps us find contentment within ourselves. Now, let's address a common misconception about independence. Many people equate independence with never needing help or support from others. This couldn't be further from the truth. True independence isn't about isolation. It's about interdependence. Interdependence means recognizing that we're all connected, that we can support each other while still maintaining our individual autonomy. It's about choosing our relationships and collaborations from a place of strength and mutual respect, rather than need or obligation. Think about the relationships in your life. Which ones energize you, support your growth, and respect your autonomy? Which ones drain you or make you feel like you're compromising your values? True independence gives us the clarity and courage to nurture the former and reassess the latter. This concept of interdependence extends beyond our personal relationships. It applies to our interactions with our communities, our work environments, and the world at large. As we become more independent, we're better equipped to contribute meaningfully to these spheres without losing ourselves in the process. Let's explore the role of purpose in our journey towards independence. Having a clear sense of purpose acts as a compass, guiding our decisions and actions. When we're connected to our purpose, we're less likely to be swayed by others' expectations or societal pressures. Discovering your purpose isn't always a straightforward process. It's not about finding one grand mission, but rather about connecting with what truly matters to you. Your purpose might be expressed through your work, your relationships, your creative endeavors, or your contribution to your community. Take a moment to reflect on what brings you a sense of fulfillment. When do you feel most alive, most connected to something greater than yourself? These moments offer clues to your purpose. As you align your life more closely with these sources of meaning, you'll find yourself naturally becoming more independent, driven by an inner compass rather than external pressures. Remember, your purpose can evolve over time. The key is to stay connected to what feels authentic and meaningful to you in the present moment. This flexibility is itself a form of independence. the freedom to grow and change as you journey through life. Now, let's address a critical aspect of reclaiming your independence: learning to set and maintain healthy boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where you end and others begin. They're essential for protecting your energy, values, and sense of self. Many of us struggle with boundaries because we've been conditioned to prioritize others' needs over our own. We fear that setting boundaries will make us seem selfish or push people away. But the truth is, clear boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships and a key component of personal independence. Start by identifying areas in your life where you feel your boundaries are being crossed. Perhaps you're always saying yes to requests even when you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're tolerating behavior that doesn't align with your values. Or you might be sharing more of yourself than you're comfortable with in certain relationships. Setting boundaries begins with clarity. Get clear on what you need, what you're willing to accept, and what you're not. Then, practice communicating these boundaries clearly and calmly. Remember, you don't need to justify your boundaries to others. No is a complete sentence. As you begin to set and enforce boundaries, you might face resistance from others who are used to the old dynamics. This is where your growing independence will be put to the test. Stand firm in your right to honor your needs and values. Over time, you'll find that healthy boundaries actually improve your relationships and increase others' respect for you. Let's talk about the power of self-reflection in your journey towards independence. Regular self-reflection allows you to check in with yourself, assess your progress, and ensure you're staying true to your authentic path. Set aside time each day or week for introspection. Ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my values? Are my actions moving me towards my goals? Am I making choices out of habit or fear, or from a place of conscious intention? Journaling can be a powerful tool for self-reflection. It provides a private space to explore your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Through writing, you might uncover insights about yourself that weren't immediately apparent. As we near the conclusion of our journey together, let's reflect on the transformative power of embracing discomfort. True independence often requires us to step outside our comfort zones, to challenge the status quo, and to face our fears head-on. This willingness to embrace discomfort is what separates those who truly reclaim their lives from those who remain trapped in patterns of dependency. Think about a time when you pushed through discomfort and came out stronger on the other side. Perhaps it was having a difficult conversation, pursuing a goal that seemed out of reach, or making a decision that went against the grain. How did that experience shape you? What did you learn about your own resilience and capability? The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." This profound insight reminds us that our perception of difficulty often stems from our reluctance to act. By daring to embrace challenges, we expand our realm of possibility and strengthen our independence. Cultivate a mindset that views discomfort not as something to be avoided, but as an opportunity for growth. When you feel resistance or fear bubbling up, recognize it as a sign that you're on the brink of meaningful change. Lean into that discomfort, knowing that each time you do, you're reclaiming a piece of your authentic self. As we wrap up our exploration of gaining independence, it's crucial to remember that this is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. Independence is not a static state to be achieved, but a dynamic process of continual growth and self-discovery. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, moments when you might slip back into old patterns. But with each step forward, each conscious choice, you strengthen your ability to live life on your own terms. Reflect on how far you've come already. The very act of engaging with these ideas, of contemplating your own independence, is a powerful step. You're already in the process of reclaiming your life. Celebrate this progress, no matter how small it might seem. Now, I invite you to make a commitment to yourself. What one action will you take today to assert your independence? It doesn't have to be grand or life-altering. Perhaps it's setting a small boundary, pursuing a long-forgotten passion, or simply taking a moment to check in with your authentic desires. Whatever it is, let it be a conscious choice that aligns with your true self. Remember, your life is yours to shape. You have the power to write your own story, to define success on your own terms, to live in alignment with your values. This power has always been within you. Now is the time to fully embrace it. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the wisdom of the Stoics, the courage to face your fears, and the unwavering belief in your own potential. Let your growing independence be a beacon, inspiring not only your own life, but touching the lives of those around you. You are capable of more than you know. You are stronger than you believe. And you are worthy of a life lived on your own terms. Go forth and reclaim your independence. The journey starts now, with this very breath, with this very moment. Your authentic, independent self is waiting. Embrace it, nurture it, and watch as your world transforms. The power to reclaim your life has always been within you. Now, armed with these insights and strategies, you're ready to fully embrace that power. Remember, independence is not about isolation, but about making conscious choices that align with your authentic self. It's about standing firm in your values while remaining open to growth and connection. The path to personal independence is a transformative journey of self-discovery and growth. At its core, this journey begins with embracing authenticity and recognizing that you are the author of your own story, with the power to shape your life. As you progress, you'll find strength in cultivating inner resilience, developing the ability to control your thoughts and reactions, a principle central to Stoic philosophy. As you move forward, carry with you the understanding that each step, each decision, and each moment of self-reflection is part of your unique journey towards independence. Embrace it with courage, curiosity, and compassion for yourself.